Look, I hate to say it, man, but without a doubt, it was a weekend of death is what we just went through. So you had a school shooting at Brown University. You had a terror attack in Sydney, Australia. And you had, of course, Rob Reiner get murdered. Rob Reiner and his wife get murdered by their son. Just absolutely horrific. So for the Brown University case here, let me show you this. This was, right in the wake of it happening. Here's what they said on Fox News.
And called into police. I mean, the reality is that this is a 7-story physics and engineering building that was unlocked, but this individual went to a specific classroom that was essentially in a study session for an exam on economics and chose that classroom. And we know from a witness inside that this gunman yelled something. We don't know what this individual yelled, and then began shooting. We also know that this person reportedly used a handgun. So a lot of questions also as to whether or not they recovered that handgun or what kind of ballistics evidence may have led them perhaps to this individual as well. So we have more questions than answers, other than the fact that we know the lockdown has been lifted and at least according to the mayor, this community can breathe a sigh of relief. But hopefully we hope to find out more in the coming hours.
So 2 people dead as of this recording, 9 people injured as of this recording. My guess is the number of dead is going to go up. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess. The FBI had arrested a, quote, person of interest, held him for about a day. They just released him not that long ago. So yet again, Kash Patel and all of these MAGA idiots have no clue what the fuck they're doing in any way, shape, or form, botching another investigation. I believe now they've identified the person who did the shooting, and now it's just a matter of finding him and arresting him. But they had gotten the wrong guy for like a day, and I've come to expect just complete and utter rank incompetence. And this is what happens when you let podcasters run the FBI. This is what happens. Could you imagine for a second that, I don't know, President Kamala Harris appointed Destiny to be the head of the FBI and Harry Sisson to be his right-hand man? What would the right-wing reaction be to that? And by the way, just for the record, I think Destiny and Harry Sisson would be much more competent than fucking Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. Because at least they have functioning brains, right? But no, these guys appoint just the fucking goofiest people on the planet. And of course, they don't know their ass from their elbow, and they suck at all the basics of police work, which you need to have in order to take this position. Then, of course, we have this horrible terror attack in Sydney, Australia. So I got some videos of this. I'll give you a warning in advance that some of this stuff, if you're sensitive, this is a little hard to watch. But first, let me show you. Here's a recording of, there was a shooting on the beach. I believe this was a Jewish event, like a Hanukkah celebration or something like that. They were celebrating on the beach, and you had 2 shooters, a father and a son, roll up, hop out of their car, and they had like bolt-action rifles with no scope, I don't think. And they started just shooting in every which direction. And as of right now, I believe you have 15 people dead. And this is, by the way, I should also point out, this is like the first mass shooting in Australia since like 1996. Because what happened was there was a mass shooting in the mid-90s. The government was like, okay, how about we just take all the guns? They did that. And then now, between 1996 and now, you've had like 0 mass shootings, which is insane because you've had literally tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. From 1996 until now, with all the mass shootings in the U.S., you probably have literally over 100,000. It's definitely over 100,000 because you have like 30 to 40,000 deaths every single year from guns in the U.S. So like you probably have hundreds of thousands of deaths in the U.S. in that same time period from mass shootings when there was like literally none in Australia. So this is a very, very rare occurrence for Australia because they have strict gun laws and because they've successfully basically nearly eliminated mass shootings. They're never going to have one like seemingly every other day like we have here, right? Certainly every week, right? But here's a video. It's just horrifying to watch, but this was people's reaction in real time as they heard the shots.
¿Qué está pasando, hombre? Alicia, escucha, Alicia, porque me pasa algo. Algo está pasando, pero no sé qué. Pero ¿a dónde va la guru? Perro, ¿qué pasó? Sí, vámonos ya.
So this was at Bondi Beach. Now I'm going to show you another one. This one, I'll give you another warning here because you actually like see the shootings occurring in real time. I'll speed it up a little bit too. And I'll put the volume on, but I'll just make it a little bit lower. again, warning in advance, these are the people who are committing the terror attack, committing the murders, and you see them shooting. You don't see any of the victims here, but you do see them shooting, and this is what it looked like. This is what was going on. So again, father and son, you literally can see people running away in the background. And they're just lighting up random people, man. They're just lighting up random people. A guy hiding right there. I don't know if you saw him duck behind the car. There's people running here, down the stairs. This guy goes down. There's a parking lot down here. He goes down to the parking lot area. I'm going to show you how one of these guys was disarmed, which was absolutely incredible. You guys are going to be blown away. There was a hero in the midst of all this carnage and this chaos and this terrorism. So you can see this guy standing on top of this bridge shooting. A lot of shots. A lot of shots. Like I said, 15 dead, many more injured. I hope that death toll doesn't go up, but I think it's probably likely to go up. All right, I'm going to jump ahead because one of them gets hit. See, now the dad got hit there, I think. This is the son who stood up. He fires back. And I think the son gets hit shortly, too. Let's see. A lot of people are saying these guys look professionally trained because they have bolt-action rifles and they're no-scoping. And that is not, for those of you who know anything about firearms, that's not an easy thing to do. If you have a bolt-action rifle and you don't have a scope and you're somehow killing people at, you know, whatever it is, 100 yards or something like that, that's kind of crazy. So there's a lot of speculation that these might be professionals. So the dad is down, as you can see. One of them is down. There's the son who's still up, but I think he gets hit in a second. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. He got hit. Or, there it is. There, he's hit too.
Yeah,
okay.
I got him.
All right, so now let me show you this. The hero, there's a 43-year-old named Ahmed Ahmed. He's a fruit shop owner and a father of two. He got hit in the arm and the hand trying to save everybody's life here. And I'm going to show you the video. This guy jumped in and literally disarmed. He disarmed the guy. This is fucking crazy. But, like, as he's shooting the rifle, he comes and fucking takes the rifle. Watch this. So this was when I think the dad walked down the stairs and went to the parking lot. I think this was that moment, and he takes one of his guns at this time. Watch this. Ready? So he runs up. He sees him shooting.
Oh!
Tackles him from the back. Grabs him from the back. Grabs the rifle. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Points the rifle at him. Fucking strip that shit from him. You believe this? I've never seen anything like this. By the way, I don't know what your guys' take on this is, but in my opinion, homie would have been well within his rights in this exact moment to light dude up. Because he's literally in the process of murdering people and committing a terror attack. Let's watch it again. Here we go. Ready? So he's aiming that way. The guy runs up from behind the car. Boom. Grabs him. Look at that. Jacks the rifle from him. Look at this. That's incredible. That's incredible. Look at this. Look at this. What a fucking... With the balls of steel on this man.
Il est trop con le mec qui a l'arme.
So then this dude, so this is the dad again, he walks back up the stairs. This is when he gets back with his son, I believe. And he's just standing around now. What the fuck?
Hyper courageux. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. So then this is where the son's shooting from. Okay, so there you have it. What an unbelievable hero this guy is. One more time. Look at this.
Oh!
C'est un malade.
Oh non, gros!
There you go. Look at that. What?
Ouais, mais il y a son pote, il va se faire tirer dessus.
That guy's such a hero. Holy shit. It's incredible. So look, you have a lot of the conspiracy types are pointing out. I believe it was Candace Owens, and she said, I don't know, maybe a month ago or something like that. She was like, watch out. I think there's going to be a terror attack in the second week of December. This is what she said. And the reason why Candace said that is because you had people like Laura Loomer and some others were out there, and they were saying like, well, it seems like people forgot. I guess, it's like they need another 9/11 to remember who the real enemies of civilization are, right? And so because you had Laura Loomer and some other cryptic comments, you had people like Candace go, oh, they're planning some sort of like a fucking false flag, and it's going to happen in the second week of December. Well, I mean, that did happen, right? There was a terror attack in the second week of December. You can make the argument that maybe Candace was referring to a terror attack inside the U.S., and this wasn't inside the U.S. This was Sydney, Australia. But I'm not kidding when I say this was used immediately. I turned on Morning Joe this morning, and you had them saying, this is truly incredible. You had a rabbi was on, and the rabbi was saying, this is the result of people saying, globalize the intifada. So they're blaming Zoran Mamdani, even though Zoran didn't say that, by the way. They said this is the result of people saying free Palestine and from the river to the sea and globalize the intifada. This is the result of it. Netanyahu came out and blamed the government of Australia because the government of Australia tepidly agreed to recognize Palestine. And Netanyahu goes, this is on the government of Australia. Just absolutely disgusting how this moment is being used, right? Now, by the way, conspiracy or not, put the conspiracy thing aside for a second. Like, the fact of the matter is, I'm actually not surprised shit like this is happening now. Because, of course, it could be that these are two just totally mentally ill people snapping and doing an attack. Okay, that's one possibility. Another possibility is it was ideological and it was terrorism, right? Another possibility could be, as we predicted would happen, when you live stream a genocide for 2 fucking years, yes, there's going to be other unbalanced, psychotic people on the other side who are going to blame all Jewish people and do terror attacks. And that's exactly what the fuck happened here, is you had terror attacks against seemingly, Jewish folks who had nothing to do with any of the, terrorism in Gaza, with the genocide in Gaza, and you get these innocent people getting killed. And so, if anything, I'm surprised stuff like this isn't happening more often, because there's always going to be a backlash effect, especially to people watching a live stream genocide 24/7. But the solution is, don't do the live stream genocide in the fucking first place. Don't do a genocide. How about that? And are there still going to be, occasionally will there still be terror attacks? Of course. But it just feeds the fuel, man. It feeds the fire and makes it so that more people are going to become radicalized and do extreme things in the other direction. That's the cycle of violence that we talk about, right? So, anyway, either way, this was a horrible fucking thing to see. I mean, these people didn't do anything wrong. These are innocent people fucking living in Australia, So, now, again, having said all that, I actually don't know what the specific motivation was of these two guys who did the shooting. It was a Muslim father and a Muslim son, but also, it's a Muslim guy who saved the day as well, which, by the way, there were some right-wingers who showed the video and was like, this guy's a hero, he saved the day. Then when it came out that the guy who saved the day was also Muslim, they deleted the tweets. I believe it was Riley Gaines who did that. It was Riley Gaines. This person's a hero, they're incredible. Oh, what's that? They're actually Muslim? Delete. So it just goes to show you how this shit is being used, right? And now there's going to be another wave of anti-immigrant sentiment, anti-Islam sentiment, and it's going to be, it's going to be crazy. And like I said, they're literally using this now to start smearing all pro-Palestine activists and stuff like that, which is insane, because all pro-Palestine activists didn't fucking do this, right? So anyway, but just a horrible scenario. Like I said, on top of this bloodshed and death and destruction, 2 people dead at Brown University, 9 injured, 15 dead here, many more injured. Rob Reiner and his wife being killed by their son. Just a horrible, horrible weekend of violence. And we hope we don't see anything like this ever again. But unfortunately, with this world falling apart and the U.S. falling apart, I think if anything, it's just more and more likely. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.